what happens after I'm done with these models? You might ask. I got an answer for you. So first of all, I obviously, once I'm done with everything and I'm done with this model, it has all the shape keys and all the blend stuff or blend shapes and all that stuff. I obviously export it as an FBX. Just that. Have it right here, right? Export it. Then I open up my Vrchat Creator Companion. And I use this, I'm pretty sure everyone uses this, because it's easy to manage your stuff here, specifically version of SDK and all that stuff. And if you're not using this, get it. It's pretty cool. Another add-on that I actually recommend for that you can get through Vrchat Companion is Gesture Manager. Get Gesture Manager because this is how you basically can test out all your gestures in your in Unity without needing to go into Vrchat every time. So if you want to make sure that all your toggles and all your emotes are working properly, you can do it all in Unity instead. So yeah, get this stuff. That feels so good. Obviously for Vrchat specifically, you have to use a specific version of Unity. In our case, is 2022. 0.3 or .3.22 F1 is what I use. I think you can pretty much use any version above this. Oh, no, wait. You can use any version above this, which is within 2022.3 version. So any of the like 22F1 or 23F or whatever it is, I'm pretty sure like it's still fine if it's gonna be that. But anyways, just to be safe, use this version. I'm gonna open our project. Is that gonna take a while? I'll have to hide chat for like a little bit, alright? This loading, it's like lagging a little bit. Okay, so once I'm here, I'm just gonna create a new scene file. I'm gonna press Ctrl-N. This is what we got. I'm also gonna go here and I'm gonna create a new folder. Where's my folder? Create folder. Michimi. The name of the commissioner. Now I'm gonna create a couple folders here. I'm gonna create a texture folder. I'm gonna call it text. I'm gonna create a animation folder called anim. Oh. Where's my... Oh, there we go. And then I will basically, in the texture folder, I'm gonna drop in all the textures that are associated with this model. In my case, it's something like 5 or 6 textures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Transparent one, and the focus. And then these textures in particular are 4K, but you can obviously reduce them depending on what you want to use the models for, right? In my case, this is going to be a sort of like a solo type of model where the person is going to be using it alone most of the time, so I can just give it the original 4K resolution right here. And then I also turn off compressing. I put it to none and I press apply. Okay, this one is transparent texture and this one is the Fox texture. One thing that I do as well, I just turn off compressing, just put it to none. Alright, now it's time for the model itself. So I'm gonna just drop in my FBX file here and I'm gonna just put in a scene. Now, usually I model my models big on purpose. This model right now is something like 1, 2, 3, like 3.5 meters. The reason for that is like sometimes models have this weird thing where because they're small, position of vertices gets messed up. And I have often been in a situation where sometimes vertices, they get messed up because of the coordinates. So it's important to make the model big, and then you can always scale your model down anyway, so it's fine. So in this case, I'm gonna be scaling this model back down to like something like 1 meter, maybe 80 or something. Because he also has the boots, so I'm gonna try doing that. Yeah, like that. That's fine. So now I know that all the scales are gonna be at 0.055. Okay, so that should be it. If I need to make this shorter, I can always make this shorter. Actually, yeah, I don't want to make this too short. Okay, like that, maybe that is fine. I can always like fine tune this if I want to. Anyways, another thing that I do is like I click on the model itself, obviously. I go in a rig, I press humanoid, apply, and then I go into configure anyways. And one thing that I do check is I go on ahead, and usually the jawbone has like some sort of other bone attached to it, so just delete that. It's an optional bone anyways. I make sure that the hip, spine, and chest are in place. Sometimes chest bone is just not in place, and all you have to do is, if it's not there, just find the chest in the hierarchy here, and then just drag it and drop it in that circle right there, right? Or if your model has like upper chest bone, do the same thing. Because a lot of these bones, Unity will tell you that it's optional, so you have to do that. Also check hands, make sure that everything is fine, and everything seems fine to me here. It's all the right bones, and everything is filled out, so that's good. No jawbone for sure. Alright, once I'm done with that, what I like to also do, and this is just like a ADHD thing, I press pose in the bottom corner right here. I press reset, and then I press enforce T-pose again. And then I press done and apply. Okay, now next thing is, this model is obviously looking plastic while all the textures are there. So what I do is I go in materials, and then I press this one right here. It says location. I press that, and I use external materials legacy, and I press apply. So what that does for me is that it creates a new folder with materials in it, and you can see all the materials are here. So now I can easier manage this material. So one thing that I do, while this is in a standard shader, I press on the color and I make it all white. So I select all of them and I make it white, because like sometimes they're slightly gray and that's bad. So make it all white. And then I already choose my desired shader. In this case, it's gonna be Poyomi. I use old version of Poyomi specifically. It's a 7.3.05. It's the most common one, and since I don't use too much effects, it's the best one that I can use in this case. Right? So, couple things that I like doing on my models for some extra effects is that I do rim light, and I do outline. So for rim light, my options usually are and my options are for rim white, I do 03, sharpness 01, emission 1, color brightness 0, and then rim color bias at 01 as well. And then for color in particular, it depends. But for this model, I think I'm gonna go with something like, I'm not sure actually. Would like something like yellowish be fine? No, it's not. So I'm probably gonna go with like something like blue maybe. Yeah, something like a blue-ish rim light should be fine. There we go. It sort of matches the general tone of the character as well, since like it has like some purple and some other tones. And like slight blue outline is perfectly fine. You can see it here as well. You can maybe make it... No, like that dark was fine. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Again, something that can also always be changed, but I feel like this is like a good tone for it. And then another thing that I do is, obviously I do outlines. So for outlines, I do, instead of basic, I do tint mode. Tint mix at 0.1. Width, it depends on your character, right? So for this one, I think I'm gonna use either 0.1 or 0.15, and then for color itself, I'm gonna use like some sort of a dark color. I think I'm gonna go with like a very, very dark blue as well. Just like super dark blue. That should be fine. And the outline itself, I'm gonna make it even thinner because I feel like that's a little bit too thick. Yeah, that's fine. Now, as you can see, my outlines have like some weird outlines, specifically the eyebrows and eyes. And for that, what I do is I'm gonna go back in Blender real quick. And then in Blender, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a mask specifically for face. So I'm gonna go on the head texture. I'm gonna create a simple image texture and do that. And then I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna create a texture. It can be like 1000 by 1000. It's not a big deal. It's gonna be head mask. And what I want to do is basically I need to make everything that I want to have outline white, and everything that I do not want to have outline, I gotta make it black. So in this case, the front of the face is gonna be black and the back of the face is gonna be white. So let me only target head, hide everything else. So right now it's only, can't see it, but okay, everything else is hidden basically. You can't see it, but it is. Actually, no, it probably is. Yeah, it was. Go to select head, hide everything else except the head, and then actually I'm just going to target the head mesh. No, I need other stuff too. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna texture everything white. Everything that I want to have an outline, right? Okay, let me get rid of that a little bit on the, just like a, and then I'm gonna also go on the texture itself and make sure that certain things are just not white. Like for example, this go painted. I don't need that. I don't need this, and I don't need this. So only the, like this part of the face should have white basically, right? And what I also like doing sometimes is I'm gonna do like a little bit of blur here, so then the transition in Unity is gonna be much better. And I'm gonna show what this does exactly. It's gonna make the transition of the outline a lot better. Okay, that should be good. So I'm gonna save this right here. There's our thingy. Since this is like 1000 by 1000, make sure to reduce it back to 1000 by 1000. And this doesn't need to be compressed, this texture, because it's just a mask, so it's not a big deal. Go on the face, so we can see how mouth has some outline and nose, and we don't want that. So we're gonna take our mask and we're gonna drop it in a mask, and bam, everything is fixed. So the outside of the face still has an outline, as you can see, right, on the jaw and on the sides and everything. But then like that smoothing basically did this type of transition. You can see it here how like the outline is thick and it gets thinner, right? So that's what the smoothing does. Everywhere around the face, the transition of the outline is gonna be like that. It's gonna be from thick to thin, basically. Okay, very cool. So one thing that I also use outline for, or sorry, mask for, is also emissions on the face. I do not want my model to have emission on the face. As you can see, like it has it right now, and I really don't like that, especially on the front of the face. So I'm gonna use the same mask that I created for the rim lighting mask as well. So I'm gonna drop it in, and then you can see it doesn't have it anymore. It's still there on the face on the side, right? But it's no longer on the front of the face, and I wanted to do exactly that, so it's all good. I think that's about it for the technical part. Oh yeah, I gotta turn this material into, oh, it is transparent already. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's literally it. Now we're gonna do a little bit more technical heavy side, which is the actual setup of the character. So what I do is you can get this in the whenever you get the Unity package and VRChat SDK and all that stuff, you can find this stuff there. I genuinely do not remember where it is, but maybe one of your other models already has this. Maybe you bought something from Booth or whatever it is, but I need a couple things here. So what I need is I need FX, I need HG, or it's like hand gesture, I need parameters, and I need the menu basically. So I'm gonna take them from this other model that I already made. I'm gonna just select the ones that I need. I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm just going to put it here, and then here I'm just gonna rename them. Again, there also should be somewhere in a VRChat folder. I do not exactly remember where it is. Yeah, I'm not sure. All of these are mine, but I do know for a fact that VRChat expression parameter. But where is it? Like the example. Yeah, I'm not sure where the examples are by one of my models. Anyways, so I'm gonna rename them. Menu, Michimi, and then parameter. So make sure to do this one thing, which is, dude, what is up with Unity? Okay, so in menu, make sure to drop in this parameter, like that you renamed or you got or whatever it is, because it needs to understand where it's getting all its information from. So make sure to do that. In this case, it's this one in particular. So, and then on the model itself, we're gonna click on the model and we're gonna create VRChat descriptor, and it's gonna create all this stuff. It is very straightforward. Can I move the model? So this is straightforward. For view, this is basically where your view is gonna be whenever you have the headset on. So what I like to do is I usually like go on this side view and I try to align it with the center of the eye here. The 164 it seems like. And then this one, I like to do it like slightly inside of nose. Right now it's like here. So like 0.1 would be here, but I want it to be slightly on the inside. So it's gonna be 0.09 or 0.08. I can do 9. Let me see where it is from the front. So it's here. I'm gonna move it slightly higher, just slightly. That's perfect. So I'm gonna keep it there. Then the next is lip sync. It's straightforward. If you set up your VRChat Vizims in Blender, if you just press auto detect, it's gonna do it manually or automatically rather, so it should be fine. Then I look on enable, and then in this option on the right, you basically have to put in specifically not IL or IR. You have to put left eye and right eye. These are the bones that are created in Unity, in Blender using Cat's add-on. Cat's add-on is like a straightforward add-on and everyone knows what it is. And if you don't know what it is, well then figure it out. So looking straight, nothing. What I like to do for this is for straight, it's nothing. For up on x-axis, it's -25. Then on down, same on x-axis is 25. Then left, it's y-axis -25. And then on looking right, it's just 25. Okay. Then eyelid type, blend shapes, you drag and drop in the mesh that has all the shape keys on. And then for the blend shape states, for blink, I just keep singular blink left. And then for looking up or looking down, I just put empty there. Then we have customizable layers and expressions. So for customizable layers, you're going to be using FX and then gesture. These are the two files that you have right here. And I'm going to drop them in right now. So for FX goes in FX, and then HG goes in gesture or hand gesture. And then for menu and parameters, you're going to be do the same thing. Parameters and parameters, menu in menu. All right. That's all fine and all. Also, I noticed that like my model has like the armpits thing. It's because I already have a shrink shape key for all of this stuff. So I'm going to just turn them on real quick. So leg shrink, arm shrink, leg shrink, body shrink, and then upper body shrink. These are basically shape keys that make the inside of his body shrink. Like so. So they do not clip through whenever the model is moving around while the clothes is on. When the clothes is not on, I'm gonna have it so it's just turned off. Okay, let's go back to Unity. Okay, so here in Unity, what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna think about what toggles do I need for this model. So I need a couple toggles for this model. I need a toggle for the fox so I can turn it on and off, and I need toggle for the jacket so I can turn it on and off, right? So I'm gonna go in menu here, oh no, sorry, parameters, and I see a bunch of stuff here which I do not need, so I'm gonna start deleting that, and I'm gonna start creating the ones that I do need. So one thing that I need is fox, right? So it's gonna be a fox toggle. It's important that the names here and then names later on in FX here are the same. So make sure to like use proper naming. Also, it's lowercase sensitive. So I'm gonna use fox. I'm gonna do jacket. I'm not gonna turn like on and or I'm not gonna write here on and off or whatever it is. I just need naming so I have a reference to what I'm doing. So fox, jacket. I also need emotes. These are the extra emotes that I'm gonna have as a toggle, so they're separate. And I think that's about it. For now, that's about it. So I'm gonna click on FX, and then I'm gonna go in parameters first. Again, you probably won't have anything else here, but I do. I'm just gonna delete them real quick, so I can create them from the start. And same thing here. So I'm gonna press the little plus button, int. I'm gonna call it fox. Same thing here, int, jacket. Same thing here, int, and it's gonna be emotes. And then we go in layers. I'm gonna do same thing here, fox, jacket, emotes. So for fox, oh, and then whenever you create this, make sure to press the little cog button. And then do weights to 1. So for all of this. Okay, so we created this. That's great. So before I continue with that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a couple animations. So I'm just gonna create a new, or I'm gonna duplicate the current character, only because I've had some bad experiences in the past where making animations would mess up the character. So I just do it on a duplicate character, so if something happens, I'm not messing up the main character, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna select it, obviously. Animations, create, animation folder, Michimi. It's gonna be for a fox on off. The animation file can be named whatever you wanna name it. It has nothing to do with the FX or the parameters. So for toggling off fox in this particular in this case, I have the main character selected. I'm gonna press this little button here, record. I'm gonna press the fox and then turn it off, and it recorded it. Press the red again. Now it's fine. And then I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna delete this icon here, not the animation, but this one. And then if I go here again and I create new animation, There we go. The character is gonna go back here. You don't have to click this if you don't want to, but I usually do this so it goes in this state. Same thing with the jacket. Record, jacket, off. Press record again. And then you can see that it's here. Delete this thing again. Dude, my Unity is working so bad. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's the two. So it's an expression menu. This one is parameter, and then this one is the menu. This is the two that I was talking about. But then where is like hand gesture and the other one? Anyways, I'm gonna create a couple more animations here. Create Michimi. So now I'm gonna create all the emote animations that I have right here, the ones that I need to use. So it's like Phys, smug, smile, sad, angry, green, crazy, lip bite, fate, oh yeah, all this stuff too. So Michimi emote, and then I'm gonna copy it. There we go. Let's do sad first. Add property, body, skin mesh render, and I'm gonna find emote sad. There we go. Add property. I drag the little animation file from here. You can either delete it, or you can just drag it all on top of this one, or the starting one, because you only need one animation. Whatchamacallit? Like key, basically. I'm gonna put this to 100. So I'm gonna look at the character. It's doing the emote. Great. Go in animation folder. Delete that again. Back here. Create emote. Pissed. Add property, body, skin, emote, pissed. Delete that. 100. And then move the line here to see if it's actually working. Okay, good. I know pissed and side out, so sort of similar. Then we need smug. Emote. Smug, there we go. Go. And we need smile. Smile. It's sad when angry. We really like this emote. Crazy. I was crazy once. Emote Karazi. Oh, interesting. It's the material. I mean, the material. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if your transparent texture or material is not working properly, all you gotta do is like select it and then switch it from rendering preset to like opaque and then back to transparent. You should be fine. Okay, how many more do I need? Oh yeah, lip bite. I guess like let me make this too. He has yellow eyes, so it's actually kind of hard to see the stars in his eyes, but I'll try it. So what I'm gonna do now is let's actually create those animations, right? So I'm gonna go in FX, animation, Fox, right? So this Fox animation is gonna be the Fox that he has on his shoulder. To toggle it on and off. So what I'm gonna do is like first I'm gonna create an empty one, right? And this is gonna be our idle animation. And this is gonna be like same for the other ones as well, so I might as well just duplicate it there. Again, for And then in Fox one, from any state, right click, make transition to idle. And then this transition node, we have to click on it. Settings, I do usually 0.1 on transition duration, and then can transition to self, I turn it off. And then you add a condition, and then you select Fox, and then do equals 0, right? Now, for the animation, it's way simpler. We just take the Fox on-off animation, put it here. You can just drag and drop from the animation. You can drag and drop the animation file itself here in the node setup window. From any state, right-click, transition to Fox, and then we create the click on the transition itself. Same thing, 0.1. This, and then Fox. Condition is Fox, right? Condition is Fox, and then equals, and there's gonna be 1. Now this equals can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want, really. The only thing is that you have to keep in mind that you will have to put that value, the condition value, in the menu right here when it comes to it. So whenever you create a menu, in menu the toggle for it, you will name it Fox on off, for example, right? And then button type is going to be toggle, parameter is going to be Fox, and then value here is the same value that's here in the equals value. So if I did 2 here, for example, I would have to put that 2 value right here as well. Okay, and that matters is because whenever you have like multiple options like that in the same window, and I will do that later on, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, is important to have it like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same with jacket. Gonna drop in jacket here, and then any state to idle, any state to here. This one, 0.1, no transition, jacket, equals. It's important that you do equals. Don't do less or greater or not equal, do equals. Same thing here, 0.1, no transition, jacket, equals 1. And again, we gotta do the same thing here. You can do like all of these things at once first and then come to the menu and do all this stuff here. It doesn't really matter. I'm only doing it for a showcase, honestly. Jacket. I like to just do all my effects first and then do all the menu stuff. So jacket on off. Make sure it's on toggle. We change parameter to jacket. And then value at 1 because that was the value we had here. Okay. Great. Now we do emotes. So, technically speaking, if you do not have any of this stuff, that's fine. You can just, even if I delete it, it's perfectly fine. It's just important you understand how do they pair up with the hand gestures. And to understand that, you have to just open up your hand gesture, Animator, and you can see it here. So first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like fist, open, point, peace, rock and roll, gun, thumbs up. These are all the Vrchat hand gestures, right? And they are numbered like that too. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see it on the right side. Gesture left equals 5, right? So if you want to pair up any hand gestures with emotes, keep in mind like which number you're gonna put next to an animation, right? So just a second, I need to find a reference for this because I usually do not use all of them. Okay, so I use 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. The reasoning for this is because like I know for a fact that people do not like having anything on fist and on rock and roll and thumbs up basically. So I only put emotes on like this stuff, right? So like a smile goes on open hand, and pissed goes on point, and angry goes on, yeah, it can be like different stuff, and smug goes on gun or whatever. Right. This can be changed as well, by the way. Okay. So here on FX, let me go in. So what do I want to use? I want to use pissed. I'm also gonna create a couple empty ones just so I understand what it is. So there's gonna be 1, 2. I want to use this one. Smug. Get this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Seven, 2, 3, 4, and 6. He's smug, leap by, and do angry. Okay, so since these are gonna be empty, I'm not gonna do anything to this, but if you want to do it anyways, just do a bunch of transitions. Like so. Yeah, you can. Can you create them like this? I don't think so, right? You can do this, right? No, you don't. Okay, so you have to do this all manually. So 0.1. Boop, boop. This is on a right hand gesture, so we're gonna put gesture right equals 1. Boop, boop. Gesture right equals 2. Third one. Gesture right equals 3. Here. Gesture right equals 4. Gesture right equals 5. Gesture right equals 6. Zeroed. Gesture right equals 7. Alright, so we're gonna do the same thing for the other hand. I'll just copy this. And I'll have to change the gesture left, right, or whatever it is here. So left equals left equals left equals left equals. See, like this time around it's just simple. You just have to change left and equals the condition. Gesture left equals, and then gesture left equals. Okay, cool. So we did all this stuff, right? Oh yeah, let me save all this. Auto commission. Michimi. It's gonna be a Unity file. Okay, so we have all this created. So let's create them in the menu itself. So for gestures, you don't need to create anything. For on and off, we do that. Oh yeah, that was last one, the emotes. So for emotes, basically emotes are gonna be all the emotes that I didn't use here, the extra emotes. So I used Phys, Smug, Lip Bite, and Angry here, right? That means that everything else is gonna go here. So crazy, green, sad, smile, pissed, smug, lip bite, and angry. Pissed, smug, lip bite, and angry. Pissed, smug, lip bite, and angry. Crazy, green, sad, smile. Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna create this the same way, sort of. Make the transitions. Like that. So we got crazy, green, sad, and smile, right? So we're gonna create the same thing here. The condition is gonna be this time around emotes equals 0. So whenever emotes equals 0, it's gonna go to the idle animation, which is like it's gonna just turn off any of this stuff. And then same stuff here. We're gonna do emotes equals 1. That's gonna be for crazy. And we're gonna do the second one. That's gonna be emotes equals 2. That's gonna be for the green. And then we're gonna do emotes equals 3, and that's gonna be for the sad one. And then we're gonna do emotes equals 4, and that's gonna be for the smile one. So for this ones, right, what we're gonna do here is very cool. So I'm actually gonna duplicate this menu item here, and we're gonna make this into a sub menu. So what's a sub menu? So this is emotes sub. So basically we're gonna make a menu within a menu. And the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna create on the main menu item, I'm gonna create not a toggle, but we're gonna create a sub menu. We're gonna call this emotes or extra emotes, whatever you wanna call it, emotes, right? And then on the bottom here, sub menu, we're gonna drop this other menu, right? And this is also gonna be emotes, right? So what's gonna happen is whenever I click that, oh wait, it fucked up something. Anyways, when I click on this in VRChat, it's gonna open me up another menu. And in that other menu, I'm gonna create this stuff there. So this is gonna be for crazy, toggle, emotes at 1. Create 3 more. This is gonna be our green. And then it's gonna be 2 here for the value because we had 2 value here as well. And then it's gonna be sad. And the value is gonna be 3 here because there was a third one. And then 4th one is gonna be smile. And it's gonna be the 4th one because it was the 4th value here, right? We'll go crazy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So we did that. So again, when you click on this in-game, it's gonna open you up another menu which is gonna have 4 of these emotes. That's how you create a sub menu. Next thing is obviously we put everything on the model, and I already did that. So FX is like FX, hand gesture, HG, menu item. You only put the main menu, by the way. Sub menu is just, it can just stay here. So you only put the main menu item. So the main menu item goes here, and the parameter goes here as well. Technically speaking, we can already test this out. So the way I can do this is like just press play. Go on the scene. And with the gesture manager add-on that I said earlier, on the right side, I can go to add component, type in gesture manager, So it creates this tool on the model. There's the model, standing very weird, but it's fine. But we can basically test out all the toggles and stuff. So I can even do like hand toggles. So if I press fist, it's probably doing fist there, but it's a jacket. But we're gonna look at the face, because we had something on open, finger point, and all that stuff. So you can see all that stuff is working. This is why I put 0.1, by the way. I really don't like whenever it's on 0, because the transition of emotes is instantaneous and it just looks weird. So that's why I put 0.1 on the transitions. Okay, so all this stuff works. I'm gonna check Fox. Works. On and off. Jacket. Works as well, on and off. And you can see they're separate, right? I can separately turn them on and off. So the thing is, if you want like certain items to be separately turned on and off, you have to have them separately here as well. In parameters here, and in parameters here, and in the layers here. If they're on the same layer, what's gonna happen is, depending on how you create it, for example, if I had jacket and then Fox underneath this on 1 and 2, it's gonna do either 1 or 2. Now you can make a setup where it's on 1 and 2, and somebody might say like, oh, but Chelsea, you can do it anyways, where like it's gonna be separate, but it's on the same. I get it, I understand that, but I do it this way because it's simpler to understand for most people and for myself as well. So I do it on separate layers. Anyways, and then I'm gonna check emotes if they're working. Oh, okay, so I messed up something. As you can see, when I press the emotes, this activates. So something is wrong here. So what do I need to do for that? Go back and let's troubleshoot. The problem is, it's probably when I click on emotes itself, yeah, it activates the first one. So this needs to be none. Whenever you're using a sub menu in parameter, it can't be anything else. So right now it should work, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So everything is working now. Very cool. Alright, that's for that. Now what I'm gonna talk about is, I guess, Phys bones. Phys bones and rotational bones. Is there any reason why I must choose equal? Because when you choose like less or more, it will interfere with other stuff. So if you want your stuff to work with precision, right? Then you do equals, because equals means that it's only one value that's gonna activate the emote or it's gonna activate the animation. It's only one value. Whenever you do less, greater, or not equal, it means that it's not gonna have multiple values, and you do not want that. Because whenever you're creating animations and it can potentially have multiple values in order for it to activate it, you're gonna mess something up. So that's why you do equals, because equals means that like if one is equal to the other, only in that state it's gonna activate. So that's why it's important to do it that way. Okay. So on this model I have rotational constraints for the wrists and elbows. And I'm gonna add them real quick. So in past you would just add rotation constraint, but VRChat added its own thing, which is like supposed to be better. So we do that. So we add that. We push activate. We add source, and in the source, it's gonna be wrist. And the weight value is gonna be 0.5. Don't do 0.5 here and 0.5 there, because that's gonna mean that it's like fourth of the power. I usually do half because that's how I set it up in Blender. In Blender, the way I have Constraint set up is that it's at half value. So yeah, this is what rotational constraint does. If you still don't understand what rotational constraint does, if I basically turn this bone off, you see, your wrist is going to be rotating like that, and that's weird. There used to be a big problem in VRChat back in the days. Now, VRChat did sort of add some sort of an algorithm since then, but it's still not perfect. So to circumvent issues like this, usually adding a bone, a helper bone with a specific weight paint does help, and it makes things look way better. Right? So that's what we're doing here. So creating the constraint specifically on wrist, and then we're gonna put wrist itself in the source, and the weight has to be 0.5. So now I can copy this. I'm gonna pull this on the elbow helper as well. Paste. And then elbow goes here. And the other wrist. Paste. And the wrist goes here. And the elbow helper, same thing here. Paste. And elbow goes there. Make sure that the active is on. Also constraints. Okay, I messed up something, but it's okay. So one thing that you have to keep in mind for this particular constraint, it's only on y-axis. It's only y-axis. So make sure that you go in constraint settings and only keep it on y-axis. Okay? Just like so. Save this. Let's see how this looks like. As you can see, the wrist constraint actually works. We're gonna check for the elbow as well. Same thing with the elbow. It works very nice. You can see how like the upper arm is like slightly rotating as well, right? So that's fine. Why we do y-axis is because if we do not do y-axis, whenever you move your bone like this, it's also gonna go on the x-axis as well, and you do not want this bone to rotate on the x-axis. The only axis that you want it to rotate is the y-axis, the green one basically, right? And that's it. Okay. Okay, so next step is gonna be doing Phys bones. Now for Phys bones, I usually use a preset that I have, or a prefab. This is my other model that I made a while ago. And since like remembering values every time correctly is a little bit hard, this is my model, like I said, and I use this model for to grab the values of various Phys bones basically. So for front hair, I'm gonna grab this value, and I'm gonna also explain like what values it actually has. So front hair, let me paste it here. So first of all, I do not use simplified, I use advanced, okay? And then for advanced, pull is at 0.05, momentum is at 0.85, stiffness is 0.1, gravity is 0, gravity fall of 0. And then I also do limiters, and I'm gonna explain that in a moment. Let me just zero out everything. There. So I did the paste it here. So let me put the front hair here. And you can see all the bones right now. Okay. So max angle, and we're actually gonna set this up. So max angle is basically the angle at which these bones are going to be moving around. So this is like their range of movement, basically. Like this little circle here is the range of movement of the bone itself. Like how far it's gonna go from the center to the left or right. But one thing that I also want to do is I want to make sure that like this hair do not clip inside. So what I do is I add pitch. So it's a rotation pitch, and what it does essentially is it changes that. It changes. Wait, is this like all same? Uh-oh, I didn't zero them out properly, huh? I feel like I did, but let me check him here. That's why it's important to actually check it properly. Oh, okay, I see what happened. I actually didn't lock them when I did that. So this is why I said earlier when I was weight painting that like whenever you're doing this, you gotta make sure that like the front X motion is positive here and all of them are same that way. So I messed that up right now. So let me fix it real quick. So now it's positive. Let's lock this. This one is locked. This one is locked. And then this one is locked and this one is locked. Yeah. Okay, so all of this should be fine. And this one should be... this one is not locked as well. It's probably this side. Let's see, yeah, positive X. I guess this is gonna be a good thing because I can actually show how I... when you make some changes to the model in Blender, how do you update it in Unity? So let's say you made some changes in the model or in Blender, and now you want to update it in Unity, and you're like, oh wow, how do I do that? Well, you can do it. So I'm gonna export it real quick. So in Unity, I'm gonna select the model, right click, show in Explorer, right here, and then I'm gonna go in a folder where I saved my FBX file. I'm just gonna drag and drop it here and replace it. Now you might say, why not just do it in Unity, Shanzo? Because it doesn't work. If I just drag and drop FBX file here, it's just gonna create a duplicate of it. It's not gonna overwrite this model. But now it did, because I did it through Explorer. Now it did actually just replace it. So I'm gonna check the front here. Okay, all the angles seem to be same now. Yep. So I'm gonna move this enough where this hair basically almost never goes back. So 30 would be ideal, but I do it like slightly less, like 28 for example. Also, you can see the root bone, how it's moving around. Usually you can just like make it not be there, but what I do is like I actually give this bone like a tiny bit of room for movement because it makes the hair a little bit bouncy up and down as well. So what I'm gonna do is, since it affected its roll as well, I'm gonna go into the curve and I'm gonna zero out, but only the first bone, just like so. You can see it only affected the first bone. It didn't affect other bones, only the first one. There we go. So what this says basically is that up until this point, everything is 0 or like less or more. Let me make it exactly the 0. So it says that up until this point, everything is 0. And then from this point, everything else is like at one value, right? 0 in this case is just 0, and then one value is the 28. 28 is the one value, right? Now I can like move this down as well, and you can see how the value of the other ones is also changing, right? But I don't want that. I did it specifically this way. But just in case, it's something that you can do with the other parts of the body. Let's say you want the value of this to change like over time. You can definitely do that. So you can do like a curve like this. It starts from 0, from the first bone, and as it goes through the other bones, the value of pitch is basically going closer to the designed, or not designed, but like to the desired value, right? In this case, we're just doing that. This. That. Oh yeah, another way of doing this, I guess, I might as well say, like, say like 0 till here and then 1, right? Now I can also like make this a straight line, and in this case, what I have to do is like I have to move this one forward. So the starting point is here. It means like anything else before here is 0 as well. And if I move this up and down, that's gonna be the value for it. There's basically essentially like a hidden line here that you can't see, sort of. And then this can just, doesn't matter where it goes, but yeah. Okay, so that should be fine. And then we're gonna check the effect of it. Oh. I actually gotta make this bouncy bone to be forward facing. It's like this, but I want it to be like that. Let me change that real quick. I'm gonna do it through pitch as well. Pitch. So I actually want it to look forward like that, more so. No, but the bone itself is like weird. Okay, something like this should be fine. Yeah, let's check how it looks like. It's jiggling too much. But at least the front hair is not clipping through the face anymore, right? Like if I'm doing this, it's not clipping through the face. Okay, so I'm gonna limit the bone. Let me do this. Yeah, see like how big the circle is? I wanna limit that. Let me do this in a play mode actually, so I can see actually the effect of it. Just a small one like that. Here. Oh, wait. Oh no, that's the... I'm basically making it thinner and fixing the angle. Copy this. It's a little bit too much bounce still. I guess like let me reduce this furthermore. Just like that. Yeah, that's good. Just need like a tiny bit of bounce. That's what I got. Okay, that's good. Alright, good. Alright, good. It's not perfect, but it's good. Just for back hair on this model, I'm gonna use the same values basically as here. So back hair. I'm actually going to get rid of pitch completely. As in the pitch. Oh. The only thing I'm gonna limit is the first bone again. I'm only gonna limit the first bone. Okay, that's good. I like that. It's a nice hair physics. It's a little bit drastic because I'm also moving model like a little bit drastic. In real life, you're gonna be only moving like slowly, so. That looks nice. Okay, let's do ears now. Oh no, that's not it. So for ear jiggle, the values that I use is, again, I use advanced, not simple. Pull is gonna be 0.04, momentum is gonna be 0.9, stiffness is gonna be 0.05, and then immobile on this one is gonna be 0.5. Let me check how this actually looks like first, just in case I need to. No, I like that. That's good. That's a good floppy ear jiggle. I like that. Compared to the hair, it actually still has like a little bit more jiggle by the end. Yeah, that's good. Okay, what else do I have to do for hair? So we did back hair, we did ears and front hair. I think that's it for the head part of the model. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do jiggles on the fox and its tail. So let me locate this little rascal. There you go, fox ears and then fox tail. So for fox ears and for fox tails, I'm gonna be using the same values that I used for the ears on the model. It's close enough anyways. And let me see what this does. Okay. So this is like a good example of like creating a sort of like a wavy physics for tail. As you can see, like I have a the angle limit on this is 30, but the way this angle limit is on a curve, right? It's like this. So it starts like at half. So instead of 30, it actually starts at 15. So the first bone is at 15, and then it slowly goes towards 30 by the last bone. So what this is gonna do is like the first bone is gonna move only a little bit. Second bone is gonna move, is gonna have bigger range of movement, and the third bone is gonna have even more range of movement. So what it's gonna make is it's gonna create this like more curvy sort of movement for the tail, which, let me see here if that's the case. It should be at least. Yeah, I can sort of see it here already. Yeah, it create this like wavy, more like wavy motion for the tail. Turn it off. And you can see it. It's nice. What about ears actually? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. Good stuff. Okay, next thing is gonna be, I'm gonna do the same thing for the tail and see how it looks. I'm gonna use the same exact options for the tail as well, because I do want a similar movement. Let's see. If I do not like the range of motion for the tail, I can always increase the angle itself so it has bigger range of motion. So I don't like how like weirdly bouncy it is. So I will change that. So one thing that I want to change about this tail is I want to give it a bigger range of motion. And let's see how that looks like. Yeah, you can see how like if I give it bigger range of motion, it's gonna be more, it's gonna have like more motion, but it's still like flowy, right? The question is, do I want the tail to move like that, or should I make it, do I want to make it a little bit more less jiggly? I probably want to make it a little bit less jiggly, to be honest. Okay. No. Get this a little bit more soft. I like that. And then do this at 80. No, it's weird at 80. What about 85? I don't hate this actually, but maybe it needs more stiffness now, or less stiffness, so it's like more bouncy. Like way too soft. Yeah, this has like a little bit more heavy, like heaviness to it. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's go with that. I'm gonna copy this here in a play mode, and I'm gonna paste this in a normal mode. Okay, that is fine. Check the code. So for code, what I want to do is I already have this bone set up in a way where I want them to only go away from the body. So I'm gonna make the angle something like 30. I'm gonna make pitch also like 30. Too much actually. 25. I'm gonna make it 25. And let me see how this looks like. And if I don't like it, I'm gonna do some changes here. Should be good though. Also, if you want to like test like your motion in play mode, and you're gonna change some physics or some values in the Phys bones tab, when you unpress the play, it's gonna go back to what it was before you pressing it. So if you do not wanna lose all your changes, what you have to do is like you have to copy, then you unpress it, unpress the play, and then go in the same like Phys bones, and then press right click and paste component values specifically, not as new, but the values. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna change the values of the Phys bones to what you had when you copied it, basically. Okay, so this is like a good display of why Phys bones is like so cool, and why like limiter is such a cool thing. And if you set up bones properly with them facing here, I'm gonna show it to you here. Like you see all my bones here, they are facing in the away position. So all of my bones on x-axis, whenever you put it in positive, they're all facing away from the model, right? Like this one on the x-axis away from the model, this one on the axis. You see, all of them are away from the model. So with this, you can create something like this, where when you move the model around, see, it's basically not clipping inside of the body, right? It's just not clipping inside of the body. It's creating this illusion that like, oh, there's like some sort of a collider, but there's no collider. There's no collider whatsoever. You're just limiting the bones to not go inside the body, basically. And here, if you don't believe me, I'm gonna get rid of pitch, and you can see how everything is clipping through again, like usually. There. And if I do it 25 again, the bones are not going inside anymore. Now you see, you can see how like they still sway towards the body a little bit, and that's because I have this at 25. If I do this at 30, for example, they will, like, the way you see them, that's the way they're gonna stay, basically, because there's like zero amount that they're gonna be going inside, basically, towards the inside of the body. This is just a sway left to right, technically speaking. If I do this at 20, for example, it will go, but not as badly as they should. I can also do this at, like, for example, I can do limit at 50 and then pitch at 45, for example. Like if you want the jacket itself to be a little bit more, have like a little bit more motion, but usually I don't do that. So you can see all the ranges right here, by the way. It's sort of hard to see all this stuff, but yeah, you can see right here. So this little cone, basically, this little cone dictates how the bone that is right here, it's actually so hard to see it, but there is actually a bone. It's just a line, basically. Wait, if I do this at 0, yeah, there we go. So the bone is basically this line, like it's a single line. And this half cone, or not half cone, but a cone, basically dictates where this line can go. You can see how like it has a little space here in the back, means that this line can go, to technically speaking, towards the back, but only till this point. The rest of the motion angle that it has is like within this circle. But again, we don't need this much, so I'm gonna do 30 again, and then here I'm gonna do 25. 25. Yeah, so same thing here, right? It has like a small motion, a little bit of motion here, or a little bit of space here to go back, but it will never go forward. So if I do this, you can see, if you can notice it, how it's not going past that point. And then that's how it works with the other bones. All right, good stuff, good stuff. I think that's about it, actually. As far as like Phys bones goes for this character, it doesn't have any other Phys bones, so it should be good. The only thing that I'm gonna change here real quick, let's get rid of, we don't need this one anymore. Let me check ears. Yeah, so I have colliders, and I don't like that towards the, oh, okay. I want them towards the tip to become small, basically. I'm gonna take this. Oh wait, this is not it. Oh, there's a coat root. Ear root. Oh, okay. There we go. So that's our collider for the ear. There we go. I have a question. If a physics bone interacts with another object, for example, a skirt interacting with a leg, is it necessary to add collider even though a limiter setting has already been applied? It's not, but you can still add colliders for like something like hands. Whenever your hands move around, they're gonna touch those areas, right? And they will interact with the hands. So same thing with like this like tail, for example, the fox tail. I'm gonna adjust this real quick here. So it's like more fitted to the size of the tail, like that. So like if he touches with his hand the tail, like it's gonna move around, and that's mostly why you do it. Okay, so funnily enough, I'm actually done with this model. I can actually upload and test it, which is very funny. So let me actually upload and test it out. It looks like. Enter my stuff here. We're gonna do a little bit of testing out, little tiny bit of testing out here. That's why I like male models, dude. No boob jiggle, no thigh jiggle, no nothing. Just do the bare minimum amount of setup and that's it. Alright. So yeah, obviously this model is gonna have some stuff that needs to be fixed, so I'm gonna do autofix. Look how hard it is to do this, guys. Just autofix it. Autofix here. Autofix here. Autofix here. Yeah, it allows us to do. So there are some other stuff, like it says like overall performance is very poor for a character. Don't care. Triangles, it's like 150,000 triangles. That's all right. And it says that this model has a lot of memory on it. It's usually due to textures and stuff like that. And I said this already at the start. This model is not necessarily going to be used in big worlds with a lot of people. So it's fine if this model has like a little bit high like textures. In this case, it's 4K. But if the owner decides that they want to make this model with like lower amount of texture, so it has lower load, you can definitely take these textures right here, right? All of these textures. Wait, what the fuck is the unsaved changes detected? Discard. Okay, so I can select all this stuff and then change it to 2K, for example, and then change it to normal quality compression, press apply, and those textures are gonna be just as fine. And you can like sort of like see it on the model. I'm gonna press apply right now, and there's not gonna be like a huge difference. There's literally no huge difference for this model, right? The only reason why I do it is because, well, I like models. I mean, there's a small change and you will see what I'm talking about, but from this angle, you're not gonna notice it. Like if I zoom in, why is it doing that? All right. If I go back to 4K and then none, and apply this, yeah, now it's actually clean, and it's how it was in Blender basically, right? Okay. Why is it doing that? I'm not doing anything. Shut up. Okay, I'm not gonna touch this anymore. Alright, let's actually upload it. So okay, let's do this. Good. Michimi. We don't need any of this stuff because I'm just testing. Capturing scene. It's fine. Oh, it can capture this. Okay, so I'm gonna do build and test. Okay, let me turn on my VR stuff real quick. What the hell? Oh my god. Alright. I should do. Oh, there we go. I do not remember how to do this stuff, dude. VRChat has my avatars. Wait, that's so dumb. So the first thing that you see when you go into avatars, that's explore? Huh? There we go. Oh my god. I really don't like this jacket with this like thingies, but I mean it is what it is. Oh yeah, let me take the jacket off, I guess. There we go. Oh, look at this fox, dude. Oh my god, that new fox boy. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Ah. Let's see if it speaks. Oh my god, it speaks. Hi, guys. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, dude, VR controllers. Weird. Weird. How do I point? What about thumbs? Oh yeah, you see me. Where's the camera thing? Camera. Stream camera. Ah. Oh, maybe this one. There we go. It's like TikTok live, dude. Look. Where's the grid? Let me do this shit, dude. Oh, there we go. Oh my god. Grid. There we go. So there was this one VTuber that was saying that basically whenever you're doing like content with this stuff, you have to make sure that the eyes are in a certain position. So you're doing like weird shit and it actually still like functions properly. Oh, but you see me sideways right now, right? Because I'm a fucking idiot. It makes sense. But if I do this, oh no, you still see me sideways. So I can only do this. Wow. Do you see my fox pet? Me beating my pet be like... We don't want to do that. There, this way I'm actually close to the mic. There we go. Wow, very cool. The hands look so much bigger like this. This fox actually looks so much smaller like this. That makes sense. Look at the fox, dude. Look at his tail. Oh my god. Alright. Wow. Normal grin. I'm sad now. Oh, now it's gone. Dude, what if I wasn't like a... no, I'm just so bad.
I was thinking like, what if I was like a VTuber, anime boy, but I don't even have a deep voice, dude. Let me try. Oh wait, I got an idea. Do my hand gestures not work? I think like there's like a button where you can turn it on, right? There's like a thing where you can turn off hand gestures, but I don't remember where is it. I don't remember. There was like a button, you click on it and like it just turns on and off hand gestures.
Beep, 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 beep. I don't think there was any errors. The only thing that I saw, and I will fix that, was I noticed that like when looking down my arm or like through the jacket, like the jacket was not tight enough and you could sort of like see the body being squished. So I will fix that. But I think that's about it as far as fixing stuff goes. Like 5 minutes. I guess I'm gonna be done actually for today. Why is Drakasui just looking away, dude? Stop. Stop it. Is she just stuck? Wait, look how Drakatsuki is just stuck like that. What the fuck? It looks like my cat. It looks cute actually. I'm gonna do it like that. I guess I'm gonna be done for today. I mean, I did all the testing and stuff, so I know.